Oh, hey, what you doing? Well, guess what? You're about to enjoy a conversation from the latest live episode of Snaps. Have a good time.
This has been a hot topic in Georgia, and I want to get your take on it because I know you're very passionate about this.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart, after the game, came out and said Georgia fans essentially did not do their job. They weren't loud. They did not make a difference. And I was there, and I was sitting up, a little bit higher up in the boxes, so it was hard for me to tell. Like, did it not feel loud because I was higher up and not in the field? But it felt quiet. And then heading into the fourth quarter, it was an 11-point game against one of your biggest rivals.
Take a nap. The game made me want to take a nap from afar.
I get it. But it's an 11-point game against one of your biggest rivals heading into the fourth quarter, and the stands started to empty out before the fourth quarter started.
Yeah.
Does Georgia have a problem with the fans?
Aaron, let me familiarize you with an old concept in history, okay? Wooden clogs on the way up, silk slippers on the way down. You are firmly in Empire territory. You are losing the very things that originally made you so tough. It's like, let's say the Mongols take over the world and they're out here, they're eating fucking horse flesh, drinking mare's milk. Oh, just, they're the dirtiest, nastiest, most hard fighting sons of bitches there is. A few generations later, they become infected with Chinese bureaucracy. They're soft. They don't give a fuck. All of a sudden, they're leaders. They don't even know how to ride a horse. I mean, to be clear, guys, this analogy not 100% historically accurate, as the plague kind of took down the Mongol Empire as much as anything. But y'all fucking get it, okay? What pleased a Georgia fan 5 years ago does not please him now.
No.
There's a time when you're battling for 10-3, that stadium would have been going fucking crazy up 11 against Auburn going into the fourth quarter. But guess what? You measure yourself in championships now. And so it's all you give a fuck about. So you've lost the thread, When you have all these riches pouring in, then that $20 bill you find on the ground, you wipe your ass with it. There was once a time where that would have been the best thing that happened to you in the entire week, maybe even the month. So yes, you are firmly in the silk slipper age of Empire. The question is, how will Georgia fans respond? Because I remember Nick Saban
the same thing,
calling out fans years ago for the same exact thing, and the fans started staying again. They started, cheering again. And granted, it never gets back. It never gets back to what it once was. You never get that hunger back until you go through extended bad times again. But it did get better. So I want to see how I want to see how this Georgia fan base responds.
Well, the problem is there's not a great test this weekend for Mississippi State to really get excited to watch that football game against the worst team in the SEC, unfortunately. And then the next one you get is not until Tennessee in November. But the fans, it wasn't just like, the game's boring, so it's hard to die off. It was from the very first quarter, it was dead. The very first quarter. It feels like it's almost I'm coming here to go take selfies to post on my social that I was at a Georgia game, and then I'm just going to leave. That's all it is.
Because the win is assumed, Aaron.
Yeah,
you don't have the anxiety that 90% of college football does, where you wake up on a Saturday and your balls are in your throat because you don't know if your favorite team is actually going to win or not.
Yep.
You expect to win. The win is just a point in time that you arrive at, and all you care about is how did we look in the win. And then you and Sean and you all get on there and you talk about how this Georgia team's actually not that good. Blah, blah, blah. If we really look at the statistics, defensively, they leave quite a bit to be desired. And Kirby's over here like, motherfucker, we're undefeated. Or not undefeated anymore. Motherfucker, we've won like 49 of the last 54 games. And all you assholes are sitting up here saying, not good enough. I think we're going to be a bit better. Yes, you are spoiled as shit.
100%.
Guess what?
Doesn't mean that we don't want to show up and cheer the team on and get rowdy.
But you can't. Because again, the same things that make, you can't recreate that hard Scrabble vibe.
No.
You can't. You have to go through actual pain and actual suffering to have the exultation that you see out of a crowd when finally their team is good again.
Yeah.
Tennessee kicking the game-winning field goal against Alabama a couple of years ago. Any of that shit. Like that only comes, you cannot appreciate the light unless you have spent extended time in the darkness, Aaron
Amen
Murray.
to that. Amen to that. That is true.
Well, I'd say that was pretty fun. Maybe had a laugh or two, potentially even learned a thing along the way. If you did enjoy it, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and we'll see you next time for more snaps.